SMART goals, how to set and achieve your goals. Hey, have you been having a difficult time setting and actually achieving goals? Well, in this video we're going to fix that. I'm going to give you a method that you can use that will help you immediately set the right goals and achieve them, and we're starting right now. Hey, I'm J.R. Fisher. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you visiting my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. There's a big subscribe button down there. Make sure you hit that button and then turn on all bell notifications. Okay, when you turn on all bell notifications, you will be notified every time I do a new video, and when I go live, you'll be part of the Fisher family, the VIP group that gets in front of the line. Okay, so let's jump right into this, but before I do, I want to remind you that there is a course below, $97 course. You can get it for zero, absolutely free. All you have to do is click the link and learn. There's no credit card required. Now I want to read for you a quote from Bill Copeland. He says, the trouble with not having a goal is that you spend your life running up and down the field and you never score. Do you ever feel like that? You ever feel like you're kind of spinning your wheels and you're doing stuff and you're working hard and you're getting up early and you're staying up late, but you just don't get anything done? Well, this video is going to fix that for you. Now, I've been selling online since 2009. I've sold millions of dollars of both digital and physical products, and I'll tell you, setting up goals, looking at where you've achieved things, where you need to work on things, this is something I do on a regular basis, and you have to too, but you got to have a system. So that's what I'm going to give you in this video. You have the system. Once you have the system, it'll be easy. Now, a lot of people will spend their lives drifting from job to job or from task to task, or just sitting in the same job and never really getting anywhere. And here's the reason why. It's not because they're dumb. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they didn't have opportunities. It's because they didn't have any goals set. Setting goals is a real art form. It's a real skill. It's something that you have to do if you want to get ahead in anything. SMART is actually an acronym that's used to guide your goal setting, and I want to walk you through each one of these steps. Professor Robert S. Rubin, St. Louis University, wrote about SMART in an article in the Society of Industrial and Organizational Psychology. He said SMART has come to mean different things to different people. Now, to make sure your goals are clear and reachable, each one should be one of these letters. Okay, the first one is specific. Specificity. That is so important. It's got to be specific. Okay, if it is I want to make a lot of money, that's not specific. I don't even know what a lot of money is. You have to specifically say I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to make $100,000 a year. Whatever that is, it's got to be specific, because if it's not, you can't break it down into increments. How are you going to break down a lot of money into increments? Yeah, it's pretty tough to do. What is a lot of money divided by 12 months approximately? It makes no sense. All right, so that's the S. The M part of SMART is measurable, meaningful, and motivating. Okay, so you've got to be able to measure it. Now, we can obviously measure money. That's pretty simple to do that, but what about sending out a lot of emails? I want to send out a lot of emails. A lot is not measurable. Okay, you got to get rid of the word a lot or a whole bunch or any of those things, because they're not measurable. You got to say I want to send out 10,000 emails or 5,000 emails. Now, those are meaningful, and it's motivating to me too, because if I send that out, I know I'm going to get something back. So that's a measurable one. When we get to the A is very, very important, guys. A is very important, and A stands for achievable. Achievable. Is this something you can really do? Is this something that is achievable? Okay, now an example would be Roger Bannister, who broke the 4-minute mile. You know, that was pretty amazing. He did that in the 50s, I believe, and when he broke that 4-minute mile, nobody had done that before, and that year so many people did that after he did, because they now said to themselves, well, that's achievable, that's something I can do. Now, if you were to go out today and you're not a runner and you're overweight and you say I want to break the 2-minute mile, you probably are not going to do that. That's probably not achievable, but you'll be amazed what you can achieve if you just try. Now, the R to SMART is relevant, but there's more to it than that. It's reasonable, realistic, and resource results based. Okay, so that's a little bit of a long one, but let's look at it first. Relevant has to do with, does it have to do with meeting all your other goals? Okay, is it out of the ordinary from all your other goals? Is it reasonable? Okay, is it something you could do? In other words, if you wanted to lose 100 pounds, you say I want to do that in 72 hours, that's unreasonable. That's unreasonable. You can't do that. Okay. And that's not realistic. Okay. And it's not resource, because nobody's done that without having half their body chopped off. Okay. So it's got to be relevant. And then the last one, which is really important, I think this is where a lot of people fall down, is it's got to be time bound. And what do I mean by time bound? That means you've got to put a limit on this. Okay. When we go to school in the first grade, they let you stay in the first grade for 1 year. Okay. And then they send you to the second grade and you get 1 year there, and then you go to the third grade. Now you don't say, well, you know, he's a really nice kid, we're going to let him stay in the first grade for 3 years, just a nice kid, you know. No, you say 1 year's enough. 1 year is enough in the first grade. 1 year's enough in the second grade. Now sometimes they'll hold somebody back, I get that, but they don't just say, hey, arbitrarily, it doesn't matter how long he's in the first grade. Sure, he's 14 and a half now and he's starting to date, but let's leave him in the first grade. They don't do that, because it's got to be a time-bound goal, right? The first grade's a year, and pretty much every grade after that is 1 year, unless you mess up. So understand this time-bound thing is really, really important. So let's get into this in a little bit more depth. Let's take number one here, specificity. Be specific. Okay, it should be very clear and specific. You got to say to yourself, what do I want to accomplish? Why is this goal important? Okay, you've got to hit all these points here. Who is involved in this goal? Now if you set a goal and you want to have a website design, but you're hiring somebody else to do it, you've got somebody else involved there, so you've got to factor that in. Are they going to get things done the way they should get things done? Where is it located? Where is this goal? How is it going to be? Is it a website somewhere? Is it a destination I'm going to? Which resources or limits are involved? Okay, so let's say you go back to building that website there, you've got $100 to do it. You're going to have a certain kind of website that's going to come from $100. If you've got $10,000 to do it, you're going to have an entirely different kind of website that's going to be built. So that specificity is really important. Number two is the measurable part. Let's dig into that a little bit more. A measurable goal should address the following: how much? It's really, really important. Okay, if I'm selling products online, which I do, and I say, well, how much do I want to sell online? I need a number, a specific number. I may also break that down into units. So the next part would be how many of these things do I want to sell? I got a course for $1,000 and I want to make $100,000. I know I need to sell 100 courses, basically 100 courses to hit $100,000 at $1,000 a piece. And then the last part is, how will I know it's accomplished? Let's go back to the website thing. You'll know it's accomplished when every part of that website's working. Okay, that's when you know you got it accomplished. So how much, how many, and how will I know that it's accomplished are very, very important. And number three, achievable. We did talk about that a couple minutes ago, but basically it's, how can I accomplish this goal? How can I do it? What resources do I need? What resources do I have? So you've got to be able to say, is this going to be achievable? If it's not achievable, all the other things don't matter, but you will be surprised what you can achieve if you just try. Now you want to be careful, you know, as an entrepreneur, I don't factor these things in because it doesn't matter to me. But when somebody else is involved in your goal, let's say you're on a job and you want to get that promotion, there's somebody else involved that's going to have to give you that promotion. You don't have the control over it that you want to have. You know, working for myself, I can set any goal I want and go ahead and achieve that goal, because it doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. It's irrelevant to me. But if you're in a job and you're trying to set up goals like that, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit tricky. Number four, relevancy. Okay, is it relevant? Let's talk about that a little bit more. Does it seem worthwhile? Is this something that's worth it to you? I have different goals I try to set. One of them is I'm working on pull-ups right now. I have a pull-up bar in the backyard, and you say, is this worthwhile? To me, it's worthwhile. To the average person, it may not be worthwhile. It may not make any difference to them. It's like, I don't care if I can do that or not. I do it because I want to be able to accomplish it, but I want to stay in shape. That's very important to me, so it's very worthwhile to me. Is this the right time to do it? Now you could go back to my pull-up things, and you know, I turned 60 years old last year, and you go, well, is this the right time to do pull-ups? I think it's a perfect time to do them. Now somebody may say, well, that's insane, you shouldn't do pull-ups after 40. But those same people would say, well, you're 40 years old, you should be a little bit overweight. And I would ask those people, how many pounds overweight should you be at 40 approximately? I mean, give or take. Right, okay, so that's what I thought. The next thing is, does this match are efforts and needs. Okay, am I willing to put forth the effort? The example of the pull-up out there is, am I willing to go out there every day and do pull-ups? Is that something I'm willing to do? And the answer is yes, I am willing to do that. Not every single day of the week, but for the most part, most days of the week, I'm gonna do that because that's the goal I want to achieve. But are you willing to put forth the effort to achieve your goal? You got to ask yourself that. And the last one that I told you about, I want to go over one more time: time bound. How can we do this? So a time-bound goal usually will answer these questions right here. The first one is when is it going to happen? Okay, when is it going to happen? When do I want to achieve this goal? When do I want to make this amount of money? When do I want to have this website done? When do I want to have this email sequence completed? When do I want to launch my course? All of these things have to have that time in there. And the next one, time bound: what can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? What can I do today? In other words, you need to break down that timeline when you achieve the goal and where you're at today and what you need to do to get to that point. This is the SMART goal tool. This works. It's worked in factories, it's worked in offices, it's worked in sports, it's worked in business. It works, but you have to apply it, because if you're not achieving your goals, odds are there's part of the SMART goal system that you're not following. If you follow this system, you'll get there, because you've got an achievable goal and you've got a timeline, and it's something you want to do, and it's something you can do, and it will happen as long as you put forth the effort. Now, I will tell you, one of the biggest factors in people not achieving their goals is effort's painful, guys, and a lot of us will experience some pain and we're like, well, that's not worth it, that's not comfortable, this isn't comfortable. But what's even more uncomfortable, let's say your goal is money. Let's say you want to make X number of dollars because you want to pay off some bills and you want to go on a vacation, and you say, well, I started doing this online business, JR, and I tell you, it was really hard, and I was having to stay up late, and I missed some of my TV shows, and I just don't think it's worth it. I just don't think it's worth it, you know, to do all this I've got to do to make some money online. And then I ask you, I say, why? And you say, well, it's painful, it's hard to do, it's difficult, it's uncomfortable. All right, what is more uncomfortable? A year from now, having a stack of mail and a stack of credit cards and money that you owe because you didn't go through a little bit of effort and go through a little bit of pain. What's more painful? Opening all those envelopes? Yeah, I think that's a lot more painful. Owing all those debts? Yeah, that's a lot more painful. Not being able to quit your job because you owe all these bills because you're stuck. You got to have that income. You got to have that monthly income. How nice would it be not to have all those bills and be working for yourself if that's what you chose to do? Now, some of you out there, you're fine in your job, and I'm not talking to you if that's the case. If you're in your job and you're happy, you won. But if you're not, you need to put forth the extra effort. You need to have some pain. That experience of pain is right on the other side of success, and that's what keeps most people from success, is they hit that wall of pain and they're like, I'm not doing that, I am not doing that. Being successful online or in sports or anything else is being able to do things that other people just won't do. Okay, if you're doing things other people won't do, you're probably going to be terribly successful. Congratulations to you. That's a good thing. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, put your comments below. Tell me what you think of this video. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, I don't know, put something down there. Tell me what you've done to achieve your goal. Tell me what you have achieved. I want to hear. So does everybody else. We want to hear what you've got to say. Put that below. Also, don't forget, I have a $97 course you can get absolutely free. There's a link below in the description. It's click and learn, simple and easy, not hard to do, no credit card required. I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.